1 in 2 men over the age of 40 will experience some level of erectile dysfunction. By the time men reach their 60s, the number climbs even higher. And yet this subject remains locked away in silence. Men quietly carry the weight of it, rarely speaking to friends, partners, or even their doctors. Instead, they blame themselves, feel ashamed, or look for quick fixes that never address the deeper cause. They try pills, potions, or internet remedies that promise miracles, but only mask the problem. But what if I told you there is another way? What if you could work with your body instead of against it? Unlocking a natural rhythm that supports stronger potency, deeper sleep, and energy you thought you had lost forever? This isn't about gimmicks or empty promises. It's about peeling back the layers and understanding how your body truly works. Hormones, nerves, blood flow, sleep, they're not separate systems. They're woven together in ways most men never realize. And one simple nutrient, taken at the right time of day, can quietly influence all of them, creating a chain reaction that restores balance. Imagine tending the soil of a garden. You don't just water the leaves and hope for the best. You enrich the soil and everything above it flourishes. That's the principle at work here. Now let's face the reality. Men over 60 are hit with a triple challenge. First, testosterone naturally declines. This shift doesn't just lower libido, it affects energy, muscle mass, mood, and drive. Second, restorative sleep becomes harder to achieve. The very deep stages of sleep that are essential for repair and hormone balance grow shorter and more fragmented. Third, circulation weakens. The arteries stiffen, the lining of blood vessels becomes less responsive, and if conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate enlargement are in the mix, blood flow suffers even more. These 3 challenges feed off each other, forming a cycle that can feel impossible to escape. Poor sleep lowers testosterone. Low testosterone reduces sexual function. Struggling in the bedroom damages confidence, which raises stress, which ruins sleep even more. Round and round the cycle goes. But here's the breakthrough. Cycles can be interrupted. And they can be interrupted naturally. Modern science has revealed that specific nutrients, especially when taken at night, can align with your body's built-in rhythms. They don't force change, they support it. They improve sleep quality, restore hormonal balance, and repair the vascular system that underpins potency. That's the difference between a Band-Aid fix and a long-term solution. Think about this. Most men never connect their sleep to their testosterone. They assume testosterone is only about sex or masculinity. But testosterone is really your overnight repair crew. During the day, your body is busy handling stress, digestion, movement, and activity. But at night, while you sleep, testosterone is released in pulses that rebuild muscle, restore nerves, and prime sexual function. If you cut off that process by sleeping poorly, your testosterone never fully recharges. Research makes this painfully clear. A landmark study at the University of Chicago tracked young men restricted to just 5 hours of sleep a night for 1 week. After only 7 nights, their testosterone levels dropped by 15%. That's the same hormonal hit you'd expect from aging 10 to 15 years, packed into a single week of bad sleep. If this happens in young, otherwise healthy men, imagine how fragile the balance is in your 60s when testosterone production is already lower. Here's what many men don't realize. Testosterone peaks during the first hours of deep sleep. This is when the biggest surge of production takes place. If you're waking up to use the bathroom, tossing with restless legs, or lying awake staring at the ceiling, you're robbing yourself of the very window when your testosterone has the best chance to restore itself. And the results are immediate. After a single night of poor sleep, men often notice lower energy, weaker libido, and less reliable erections. It's not in your imagination, it's biology. Think of your body like a phone charging at night. If the outlet is faulty and the current cuts out every hour, your phone never reaches a full charge. That's what happens when sleep is broken. Your testosterone battery remains half empty, no matter how much you exercise or how carefully you eat. To make matters worse, disrupted sleep raises cortisol, the stress hormone. Elevated cortisol directly blocks testosterone production in the testes. So not only is your body failing to recharge, it's also raising a hormone that actively shuts testosterone down. It's a double blow, draining vitality on both ends. This is why so many men notice a link between stress, poor sleep, and weaker performance. It's not weakness of character, it's chemistry. This is where the conversation shifts. If you want to maintain potency after 60, you cannot ignore sleep. It's not optional. Your sexual health depends on your sleep cycle as much as it depends on circulation. And here's where nutrients enter the picture. When taken at the right time of night, they don't just help you fall asleep faster, they protect your hormonal rhythm. They extend deep sleep, guard against cortisol spikes, and allow your testosterone to restore naturally. That restoration feeds directly into sexual function and confidence. Let's talk about melatonin. Most people see melatonin as a cheap sleep aid. They imagine a small pill that knocks you out for the night. But melatonin isn't just a sedative. It's a hormone your brain produces naturally in response to darkness. And for men over 60, melatonin plays far more roles than simply making you drowsy. It influences sexual health, nitric oxide signaling, and even prostate function. Studies have shown that melatonin interacts with the testes themselves, regulating testosterone production and shielding cells from oxidative stress. It's like a nightly shield protecting the machinery that keeps you vital. But melatonin also works on the vascular system. A study from the National Institutes of Health found that melatonin improves endothelial function, the health of the inner lining of blood vessels. Why does this matter? Because erections are essentially a vascular event. They depend on nitric oxide, the chemical signal that tells blood vessels to relax and open up. Without nitric oxide, blood flow cannot surge into the penis and potency fails. Melatonin helps protect the cells that release nitric oxide, keeping the system intact. Think of nitric oxide as a traffic light. When it turns green, blood flows freely into the penis. When it fails to signal, traffic stalls. Melatonin helps keep the light green by preserving blood vessel health. That means melatonin at night is not only about falling asleep, it's about maintaining the foundation of potency itself. Emerging research also suggests melatonin protects the prostate, lowering inflammation and improving urinary symptoms in men with benign prostatic hyperplasia. For men over 60, this matters greatly. Nighttime trips to the bathroom rob you of deep sleep, which robs you of testosterone. If melatonin supports prostate health as well, that's a double win. Here's the catch. Melatonin production naturally declines with age. By 60, your levels may be half of what they were in your 20s. Your body's natural darkness signal is running weaker. Supplementation can help, but the goal isn't to flood your body with high doses. It's to gently reinforce your rhythm. For many men, 1 to 3 milligrams taken 30 to 60 minutes before bed is enough. Higher doses often backfire, leading to grogginess or fragmented sleep. Think of melatonin like a bedtime whisper, not a hammer. Dim the lights, avoid screens, and take a small dose if needed. Together, these cues tell your body it's safe to drop into deep, restorative sleep. And that sleep is the soil where testosterone, vascular repair, and sexual vitality grow. But melatonin is only one piece of the puzzle. Vitamin D, often thought of only in terms of bone health, is actually a hormone-like nutrient with wide-reaching effects on men's health. For men over 60, vitamin D influences testosterone, vascular health, immunity, and even mood. Studies consistently show that men with adequate vitamin D levels have significantly higher testosterone compared to deficient men. Low vitamin D is linked not only to lower testosterone but also to higher rates of erectile dysfunction. Why? Because vitamin D supports endothelial function, that same critical inner lining of blood vessels. Without it, nitric oxide signaling weakens, blood flow suffers, and potency declines. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, Best absorbed with meals that include healthy fats like olive oil, salmon, or avocado. Most doctors recommend morning or midday dosing to mimic sunlight exposure. But here's something many don't realize. For men with disrupted sleep, evening supplementation may actually help align the circadian rhythm. Vitamin D is deeply involved in regulating the body's internal clock. By stabilizing this rhythm, it helps testosterone release and vascular repair happen at the right times. It's like resetting your body's wristwatch so the systems run in sync. There's another angle too, mood. Men low in vitamin D often report fatigue, irritability, or depression. Low mood and low testosterone frequently overlap, both of which destroy sexual vitality. Restoring vitamin D can lift mood, strengthen testosterone, and improve energy, creating a positive cycle that reinforces itself. Imagine trying to grow a garden in dry, depleted soil. No matter how good the seeds, nothing thrives. Vitamin D is like rainfall, nourishing the soil so everything, hormones, circulation, energy, can flourish. Practical advice here is simple. If you're over 60, ask your doctor for a blood test called 25-hydroxyvitamin D. Many men are shocked to find deficiency, even those who spend time outdoors. Supplementation is often required. Some men do best with smaller daily doses, others with weekly higher doses. If your doctor approves, taking vitamin D in the evening, with dinner, especially a meal with healthy fats, can support both absorption and your nightly repair rhythm. Then there's magnesium, perhaps the most underappreciated mineral for men over 60. Magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions, yet nearly half of older adults are deficient. This matters because magnesium is tied to nerve function, muscle relaxation, stress hormone control, and the dilation of blood vessels, all critical for sexual function. Research shows magnesium supplementation improves sleep quality in older adults, particularly those with insomnia. It also correlates with higher testosterone levels. And when it comes to erections, magnesium supports nitric oxide synthesis, the pathway that allows blood to surge into the penis. Magnesium is like the oil that keeps machinery moving. Without it, gears grind and jam. In the body, that means tight muscles, restless nights, and poor circulation. With magnesium, sleep deepens, stress hormones fall, and erections flow more naturally. Another overlooked role is magnesium's impact on cortisol. Chronically high cortisol wrecks sleep and testosterone. Magnesium helps regulate the stress axis, calming the system and opening the door to restorative deep sleep. The problem is that magnesium absorption declines with age. Medications like diuretics or acid blockers worsen the losses. That's why supplementation can be important. Among the many forms, magnesium glycinate and citrate are usually best tolerated at night. They absorb well and promote relaxation without digestive upset. A simple habit is to take magnesium an hour before bedtime, perhaps with herbal tea. Men often notice fewer nighttime awakenings, steadier energy in the morning, and over time, stronger erections. All of this ties into the core truth. Erections are fundamentally vascular events. Testosterone, desire, and arousal mean little if blood vessels cannot open and fill. Erections require nitric oxide to relax penile arteries and let blood rush in. Erectile dysfunction is often one of the earliest warning signs of vascular disease, sometimes appearing years before heart trouble. Your erection is not just about sex. It is a window into your vascular health. During deep sleep, the body repairs endothelial cells, the very cells that release nitric oxide. Nutrients like melatonin, vitamin D, and magnesium all support this process. Melatonin shields cells from oxidative damage. Vitamin D strengthens their responsiveness. Magnesium relaxes smooth muscle so nitric oxide can work. Taken together at night, they support the exact window when your body is designed to heal. It's like repairing a dam overnight so water can flow freely in the morning. If the dam is cracked, water stagnates. If blood vessels are unhealthy, potency falters. Repair them consistently, and blood flow returns with strength. This is where many men miss the mark. They look for daytime, solutions, pills, or stimulants, but ignore the nighttime window when the body does its real repair. By aligning your habits and nutrients with your body's natural clock, you let the system work with you instead of against you. When we talk about restoring potency, most men immediately think of testosterone. And it's true, testosterone is crucial. But the bigger truth is that testosterone alone is not enough. Potency depends on an orchestra of systems working together. Testosterone must be released at the right times. Sleep must be deep enough to allow recovery. Nerves must carry signals effectively. And blood vessels must open on command. If one section of the orchestra falls out of tune, the entire performance falters. That's why focusing only on testosterone, replacement, or pharmaceutical shortcuts often disappoints. Take the nerves, for example. Erections are not simply about blood rushing into the penis. They begin with a neural signal that travels from the brain down the spinal cord to the pelvic nerves. This signal releases nitric oxide, which triggers blood vessel dilation. But if the nerves are damaged or sluggish, the signal weakens. Conditions like diabetes, high blood sugar, and chronic inflammation slowly chip away at nerve health. Many men don't realize that their nightly sleep cycle is the time when nerve cells perform maintenance. During deep sleep, the brain clears out metabolic waste, restores neurotransmitter balance, and allows the nervous system to reset. Without this reset, nerves grow fatigued, signaling weakens, and erectile response suffers. Now here's where nutrients again prove their power. Magnesium calms overexcited nerves, stabilizing their function. Melatonin protects nerve cells from oxidative stress, lowering the damage that builds up with age. Vitamin D supports neurotransmitter balance and immune regulation, reducing the silent inflammation that erodes nerve pathways. When taken in the evening, these nutrients are present exactly when nerves need protection the most during nightly repair. It's like giving construction workers the right tools before they start their overnight shift. Without the tools, repairs are sloppy. With them, the job is done right, and the system wakes up stronger in the morning. Blood sugar also plays a bigger role than most men suspect. Even in men who aren't diabetic, elevated evening blood sugar interferes with deep sleep and damages blood vessels. Studies show that spikes in glucose before bed blunt melatonin release, disrupt sleep cycles, and impair testosterone secretion. High sugar also fuels oxidative stress in blood vessels, making erections less reliable. That's why men who indulge in late-night desserts or heavy carbohydrate meals often notice restless nights and weaker potency. The solution isn't deprivation, but strategy. Keeping dinners balanced with protein, healthy fats, and vegetables stabilizes blood sugar. Pairing that with evening supplementation of magnesium helps further improve glucose control. Magnesium is essential for insulin sensitivity, meaning your cells respond better to insulin and keep sugar out of the bloodstream. The result? Steadier sleep, better vascular health, and stronger morning vitality. There's another hidden player in this story, cortisol's nighttime twin, called growth hormone. Growth hormone is released during deep sleep in pulses, much like testosterone. It supports tissue repair, fat metabolism, and muscle preservation. In men over 60, growth hormone levels decline sharply. But research shows that quality of sleep more than age alone determines how much growth hormone is released. Poor sleepers cut their nightly growth hormone pulses nearly in half. And here's the key connection. Growth hormone and testosterone amplify each other's effects. Melatonin supplementation has been shown in studies to restore more normal patterns of growth hormone release. Vitamin D, through its regulation of circadian rhythm, also contributes to balanced pulses. Magnesium lowers nighttime cortisol, which otherwise suppresses growth hormone. This triad of nutrients, taken consistently at night, sets the stage for restoring both testosterone and growth hormone, a double lift for men seeking vitality after 60. It's worth pausing here to reflect on how interconnected these systems are. Men often separate their struggles into categories. Sleep problems here, low energy there, erectile dysfunction somewhere else. But underneath, the biology ties everything together. Fix the nightly rhythm, supply the missing nutrients, and multiple issues improve at once. It's not coincidence, it's cause and effect. Think of your body as a city. During the day, traffic surges, businesses run, noise fills the streets. At night, maintenance crews come out to fix potholes, clean garbage, and service infrastructure. If the crews don't show up, the city looks fine for a while. But slowly the streets crack, the garbage piles up, and traffic the next day snarls. Within weeks, the city feels broken. Your body works the same way. Sleep is the shift change when the crews come out. Nutrients like melatonin, vitamin D, and magnesium are the equipment they need. Without them, repairs lag behind. And eventually, the systems men rely on most, potency, energy, confidence, start to crumble. One area where this becomes crystal clear is morning erections. For many men, the presence or absence of a firm erection upon waking is a barometer of health. Morning erections aren't just about desire, they are a natural, physiological process triggered by deep sleep cycles. They occur during REM sleep when neural activity stimulates blood flow. If sleep is fragmented or hormonal balance disrupted, these erections fade. Men who no longer wake up with them often feel as if their masculinity has vanished overnight. But the truth is simpler. Their nightly maintenance crews aren't completing the job. Restore the rhythm, nourish the system, and morning vitality often returns. Let's also consider circulation more directly. Erections depend on the ability of arteries in the pelvis to widen and trap blood within the penis. Over time, plaque buildup, oxidative stress, and endothelial dysfunction stiffen those arteries. Cardiologists often say that erectile dysfunction is the canary in the coal mine for heart disease because the penile arteries are smaller than coronary arteries. When blood flow weakens there, it often signals broader vascular trouble years before heart symptoms appear. This means paying attention to potency. After 60 isn't vanity, it's early detection of cardiovascular risk. Supporting blood vessels is supporting your life, not just your sex life.